Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be focused on my female rabbit Willow and her journey in trusting me. I have split it up into 4 simple steps that I believe if you follow, you should have similar results. Before we get started, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Willow's story. I don't know her full history, but I am going to go through what I do know. She was kept in a house for the first year of her life with a family who didn't really know much about rabbit care. I believe she was kept with other rabbits, but she wasn't really given a proper diet, so she wasn't given enough hay, which meant that her teeth did get overgrown. She was adopted by a lady in March who basically rescued her. She gave her vaccinations, she neutered her, and she put her on a proper diet. Now, just as a way of judging just how poor her previous diet was, once she was put on a proper diet, one that was actually healthy for her, her gut was so unused to this that she went into GI stasis and had to be hospitalised for a few days. The woman that I adopted her from had a change in personal circumstances and therefore had to rehome her, which is where I came in. Before I was allowed to take her home, I was asked several questions. I was asked about my setup, I was asked for pictures, I was asked about what I planned to do with her, i.e. was I going to bond her, was I going to try and sell her on, all sorts of questions, which I think is exactly what this lady should have done, just to make sure that obviously Willow was going to be going to a good home. When I did take Willow home, she was extremely shy. She hated me being around her. She would do everything not to spend time with me. However, she was very curious about Jasper. So the way that I had this room set up, I had a barrier sort of across here, and I had one rabbit on one side and one rabbit on the other side. And the two of them were interacting between the barrier, which for me just showed that it was a really good sign and this bond was probably going to be able to work. Bonding the two rabbits, I think, was the most important thing that I did in terms of getting Willow to trust me. This is because Jasper and I have a very good relationship. He has a lot of trust for me, he'll use me as a climbing frame, he really doesn't have much fear of me at all, if any. And because she then learnt to trust him and she loves him a lot, it then meant that in turn she could see that I was somebody safe. This was especially true when it came to feeding. So one thing I tried with her to sort of gain a bit of trust was putting food in my hand. And I'd first feed Jasper from my hand and then I would offer food to her. And because she didn't want to miss out on the treats, she would come over and she would eat from my hand. The second step is just to spend as much time with them as possible. So I try to spend as much time in here as I possibly can. I have a little makeshift sofa over in that corner where I just sit and I chill with them, maybe have my dinner, watch some TV, read a book, do some uni work, and that just basically gets her used to my presence, and I think that really helped as well. One thing that I have seen other people do, which I personally didn't do myself, but I don't see any reason why it wouldn't work, is taking an item of your clothing and putting it where they normally sleep. So for Willow, she sleeps in this corner up here. This is sort of her safe space. I think a lot of that is because it's quite difficult for me to get into this unless I lift the top up. But even so, it's difficult for me to access, so this is her safe space. The third step is to spend time just having fun with them, maybe teaching them some tricks. Rabbits are very, very intelligent animals and they like to be intellectually challenged and they like to show off. So what I did with Willow, I taught her 2 tricks per se. The first one was her name, so she responds to her name, and the second one was teaching her to stand up and beg for food. I did attempt to do this with her earlier on today, so I'm going to insert the videos in now of me attempting to show you her trick of up. I'm also going to show you Jasper because he's a lot more responsive to tricks than Willow is, and then I'm going to show you the first ever day that she started responding to my I hate saying it, but commands, when I first taught her how to say Willow, because they were all really special moments for me, and it did make us a lot closer. She then, for the first time ever, would climb up onto my lap, and it was just really, really special. So I'm going to show you all those clips now. Willow, come here. Now stand up. Stand up. Up, all the way up. Good girl. Jasper, 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 come here. Good boy. Now spin. I want you to spin. Spin. Up. Good boy. Down. And spin. Up. Down. And spin. Let's come on one more time. Come here. One more time. Up. Up. Good boy. Down. Spin. Come here. Up. Up. Jasper, up. Good boy. Down. Spin. There you go. Willow. Willow. Willow, come on. Willow. Good girl. Good girl. Hey. Willow, up. Willow, up. Willow, up. The final step that I took with Willow was to do bonding sessions with her the same way that I did between her and this little cheeky monster here, who considers himself to be an Olympic athlete now, I think, with trying to do backflips. That is an old uniform that I'd never wear out of the house. So I put this on because for Willow, oh my goodness.
Because for Willow, oh my goodness.
He was fine, by the way. He just fell into his bowl of water, so got a bit shocked because he was wet. But that was it. Anyway, so we just went and we sat on the sofa for about 30 minutes while I watched TV. I let her crawl all over me. I had a specific jumper on that I didn't mind if she tore up because I never wear it. It's an old uniform. And she just then chose to sit on me when she wanted to. She chose not to sit on me when she wanted to. I tried to sort of have my hand near her most times without being overly forceful, just so that she was okay with my presence. Doing this a few days a week really helps us because, again, it was just her getting used to being around me. So there you have it. There are my 4 steps on helping a very shy rabbit to trust you. So as a quick summary, first one is to bond them with another rabbit, especially useful if you have a rabbit that's already got a good relationship with you. But 2, is just spend as much time with them as possible in a non-invasive way. So just sit with them, don't try and approach them, but just so they're used to you, let them come to you. Number 3 is to play with them, maybe teach them some tricks such as their name or simple games, as in stand up, spin round. And number 4 is to have bonding sessions with them the same way that you do with another rabbit. So in a neutral space, somewhere where they haven't been before, that you can just sort of sit together. And if you have a rabbit like mine, I would suggest just having some clothes on that you don't care about so that they can chew on it, they can pee on it. It doesn't really matter because you're never going to wear it again anyway, apart from that one purpose. One disclaimer that I do want to put at the end of the video. Yes, Willow and I now do have a good relationship. She does trust me. However, it is just a relationship of trust. She's still not a cuddly rabbit. There are only a couple of places that I can actually stroke her, and I mean physical spaces. I can stroke her when she's in bed in here, and I can stroke her when she's out on the sofa. She doesn't like being picked up in here. She doesn't like being cuddled in here. Rabbits are prey animals. They are hardwired to fear things that are bigger than them. Humans are above them on the food chain. You can still go to a restaurant today and find rabbit on the menu. It is within their instinct to be scared of us because they know that we can be a threat. And if you just think about how huge we are in compared to them, they're gonna be scared of us because of that. You're going to find that it is especially hard to get to a place where a rabbit will want cuddles from you when they are a rabbit with a history like Willow's. So as far as I'm aware, Willow's had 4 homes. She's had the home that she was born in, she had the home that she wasn't treated very well in, she had the home of the lady who rescued her, and then she's had my home. That's lots of people coming in and out of her life, lots of adults, lots of these huge beings coming in and out of her life. It must be very difficult for her to trust that this is where she's going to stay. You know, they are intelligent animals. I'm sure she's got memories of that. And you can tell that by her temperament, that she's got memories of not necessarily being treated properly. Because of this, I am so proud of the progress that I have made with her. And I'm so proud of her that she's actually allowing me to spend any time with her, even if it is very limited time, or it's not the same way that I spend time with Jasper, because I've only known her for 3 months. She's only lived with me for 3 months. She's only lived with Jasper for 2 months. So it's such a huge deal, and I'm just so proud of the progress that she's made. A lot of rabbits, though, even without Willow's history, might still struggle to be super cuddly with you. There are rabbits that do like cuddles. Jasper was one of them, kind of still is, but I found once I bonded to them, he was less attached to me. And it was sad. I'm not gonna stand here and be like, oh, you know, it's whatever. It was really sad for me. It was really hard for me because Jasper's my baby and I love him. But the whole reason why I got Willow was that he could have company and he could have that love that only another rabbit can give him. And now he's got that, and I'm so like, I'm so happy about it. I'm so glad that they have each other, and you should be too when it comes to your rabbit. They are not like a cat, they're not like a dog, they're not going to be these animals that snuggle into you, because one more time, they're prey animals. They are meant to be scared of us, but they're such fun animals either way. They are really intelligent, they're funny, they have such diverse personalities, and it's amazing just getting to know them and spending time with them. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you found this useful, and if you follow these steps, please do just leave a comment below and just tell me how it worked out for you. If you have any suggestions on what you'd like me to cover next time, please do also let me know. Thank you, take care, goodbye.
I just wanted to jump in here and say that I filmed this video about a month ago, but I've only just got around to editing and uploading it today, because I've just been really sick for the last month. I had a really nasty ear infection. During that time though, I have continued with these steps. So I've been spending time with her without sort of invading her space. I've been teaching her some tricks and just been sitting with her outside of the room, and the progress she has made is absolutely incredible. So you've got 2 clips that I've just popped at the end of the video here. The first one is me with her last night while I was brushing her. She never ever used to let me do this. Like, I would have to put her in the sink so she couldn't get out to groom her. But she sat on me yesterday voluntarily for about half an hour. I wasn't restraining her in the slightest. She stayed on my lap. The second one is from this morning, just to prove that she can now do a little routine, which I just think is absolutely adorable.
Stand up, stand up, good girl, down and spin. Good girl. Jasper, up, up, good boy, down and spin.